everybody. Hi. If you're watching this on replay, hashtag replay, leave a comment below and say hi. Tell me where you're watching from, who you're watching with, and kind of tell me where you are on your keto journey. If you have any questions about keto that you would like me to discuss in the future, also leave those in the comments, and one of these weeks I will talk about it. If this is your first time watching me, I am Yvonne from my keto classroom. I do a regular teaching Thursday live on Facebook and Instagram, so you can come hang out with me on either one of those platforms. And on Teaching Thursday, we pick a topic that has been asked in the community that I feel like we should be discussing. Today's topic is the glycemic index. That was my planned topic for the week. But I was chatting with somebody this morning, so before we get into glycemic index, I wanted to talk about mindset. This morning, there was a discussion going on about can't stick with keto. Keto is so hard. It's all this food that I can't have. And, well, it's important to do mindset work with keto and really with anything else. Because in life and in keto, there is kind of a line of success. And either you're above the line or you're below the line. You want to be above the line of success. Above the line of success, you have the I can and I will mindset. Or even for some of us, if it's due to medical thing, it's an I must mindset. Below the line, it's I can't and I won't. So really, it's up to you what you're going to focus on. Are you going to focus on all the foods that you can't have? You know, the pizza and the spaghetti and the soda and the pie and everybody else can have it. Or are you going to think about the foods that you can have? That there's so many foods that you likely haven't tried yet, or different ways to prepare it. And focus on the health benefits this will give you. And focus on the example you're setting for your children. And all the things that this will give you. It is up to you. You can change your mindset. It takes work, no doubt about it. But you can change your mindset. And so, what are you going to focus on? I just mentioned, all the foods that you may have never tried. There's so many things I have discovered while doing keto. I always thought I didn't like avocado. Well, it turns out the only way I'd ever had avocado is guacamole. And so it's not avocado I don't like, it's guacamole I don't like. There's something in guacamole that just tastes not right to me. And now I love avocado. I use them all the time. That's one example. Then I've discovered jicama. I'd never had jicama before I did keto. And if you are in my house when I make jicama fries, the smell is so amazing. And they taste amazing too. So there is so many foods that you likely haven't tried that are keto friendly that you'll fall in love with, and you'll forget about all the things you can't have. So that is my little rant for this morning. Let's jump into glycemic index. What is the glycemic index? Well, glycemic index, or GI, is a ranking from 0 to 100. And it shows you how the available carbohydrates are digested, absorbed, and metabolized into glucose and released into the blood. Carbohydrates that have a low GI value, which is considered 55 or less, are more slowly digested and absorbed, as well as metabolized, and thus cause a slower rise in blood sugar and lower insulin levels. So that's what the goal is with keto. You don't want to spike your blood glucose. You don't want to have high insulin levels. So where I look into the glycemic index mainly is the keto sugars. So furthermore, there is different things in foods though that affect the glycemic index, such as dietary fiber reduce the glycemic index. And also the way that the food is digested. I mean, more than likely, you're not just going to have, say, bread by itself. You're going to have maybe butter on that bread or a piece of cheese or and so on. So the way that you're eating that one food with other foods that you may be eating it with, such as butter, can affect the glycemic index. So, and quantity also matters. So from the glycemic index, researchers at Harvard have come up with the term glycemic load, and that takes into effect on the amount of carbohydrates you eat of that particular food and what you eat it with. So that makes up the glycemic load. But as I mentioned earlier, because we're doing low carbs, so we're not really looking into too many high carb foods, glycemic index, what I use it mostly for is keto sugars. Now, if you are still in the research phase and haven't started keto, this may be the way you want to slowly ease into keto, is by looking at glycemic index. For example, brown rice has a lower glycemic index than white rice. That's why it's considered more healthy. So, keto sugars. As you may know, there's several natural sugar substitutes that you can go with, and there are some that have a higher glycemic index and also higher carbs. So sweeteners that are recommended on keto that have zero GI are stevia, aleuce, monk fruit, inulin, and erythritol. Erythritol is the only one that I named that is a sugar alcohol, which is also it's natural and it is recommended on keto. Now, the problem with artificial sweeteners, other than that they're not healthy for you, is that a lot of them contain bulking agents. However, this is not just a problem with artificial sweeteners. I have seen it in monk fruit, for example, as well. I was discussing that earlier this week with somebody who was looking at the brand in the raw. They make monk fruit in the raw, they make, I think, stevia in the raw as well, and other things. And the in the raw brand uses a lot of bulking agents. So that will throw off both the carb count and the glycemic index. So you have to be careful with that. So that is pretty much it for glycemic index. If anybody has any questions or comments, either now live or after the fact, just drop them below. And again, if you're watching this on replay, say hello, let me know where you're watching from, where you are on your keto journey, and if you have any questions for this video or a future video, just let me know and I'd be more than happy to answer them. So see you guys next week, 9 a.m. Eastern Time on Instagram and Facebook for Teaching Thursday. Bye guys.